everybody, it's Thursday, and we are Trekker's Delight, and we are going to be talking about the Discovery series finale, Let's Fly. We have all kinds of thoughts about it. Some good, some bad, some who the hell knows. So, bean footage?
This intro was created by the
Every other vote.
I mean, I just want to know what we're going to be ready. Oh, wait, we're going live.
Here we are. Welcome once again to Trekker's Delight.
Like, literally, my mic falls down just as we go live. Hi, everybody!
Why is that person not even moving behind you?
That's what you're paying attention to?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh my god, no.
Love that baseball and the teacup. Like, clearly, TNG DS9 fans.
This was a nice touch.
The moans.
The moans.
No, everybody, this is actually one of the main screenwriters for Prodigy, so we are super excited to hear from you. And
No
also,
lesson.
I'm a little embarrassed for being as critical.
Man, I really love that intro.
Did I hear Jason talking over the intro there, saying this?
I
intro
literally
was created by
heard
William
Jason.
Walker?
I heard somebody. It was just me. And I was like, I know I didn't change any audio.
I was
Yeah,
like,
we're
I
automatically muted when it plays, so that was odd.
Jason, what did you do?
I wonder if I can unmute this.
You wonderful. So you decided to press the big red button just to see what would happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then engage.
William and Jason,
Conversation.
William, I feel like this is not a surprise.
Right?
I mean, the shock is that it's taken him this long.
Really?
I mean, to be honest.
Formal introduction, even though most of you already know him. This is my friend and buddy Maxwell Hughes. Shout out to him for making it all 5 seasons of Discovery before today.
Banger season.
And you made it to how far in Enterprise?
I believe I'm like at the tail end of season 3 of Enterprise.
He wants to watch them all.
Oh, so it's about to get good for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, so but when did you start watching it?
I started Discovery, I think 3 weeks ago, maybe a whole month ago.
Oh, okay. So you've been in it.
Oh yeah, I've been in it.
His goal is to watch them all in chronological order. So I started him on First Contact and then just move forward from there. Because I felt like First Contact was like a good intro.
Yeah, that's an
I mean,
excellent.
It's a good movie.
It's definitely the best of the TNG movies.
Oh yeah,
It was a good one.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Thank you, Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way,
But since Maxwell is new, you get to do the Trekker's Delight hazing ritual, which is you get to do the summary.
All right.
if you don't know their names, just
The Star Trek intro. It happens on the screen.
Okay, we don't have to get that detailed, boo.
I was like, oh Lord, how long
let me
is
pull
this
you
gonna,
back.
how long is this gonna be?
Okay, so Burnham, I think last time we saw her, she had jumped into the Progenitors tech following Moll.
Didn't slip there much.
And it opened up a big temporal portal type thing. Cut to Discovery. Their mission is to I guess keep Burnham safe within there and like somehow bring her back along with the Progenitors tech. Inside of the tech, inside of the portal, Burnham's looking around like what the hell is this, man? She looks through, she finds some Breen soldiers, she finds Moll. They're like, hey, let's call a truce real quick. Let's see what we can find. Let's see if we can, help each other. We bring back Locke and we get the Progenitors tech for Starfleet. Yeah. So they find their way into the actual Progenitors tech, and find this like cylinder, glass cylinder interface. They decide, hey, let's solve this puzzle. Moll solves it, but not actually. She gets shocked, probably almost dies. Burnham solves it actually because she thought with her big brain, and she meets the Progenitor. Oh my god, she's back, I think. Meanwhile, there's a Breen dreadnought coming, and if they find out, they're all gonna die and shit. So Saru comes to rescue.
They're gonna die and shit. In all fairness.
Saru comes in.
Very much like Keith is here. He knows shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
All right, but so does Maxwell. I don't.
Shrew comes in. He gets them to go back and not find Moll and company, but that's where they are. But a scout ship is on their way as well, so they need to figure out a way for the scout ship to not report back and bring back a whole army of Breen. So the Discovery comes up with the great plan of using their spore drive to jump whatever is between them. Thus, they need to split themselves saucer wise and jump whatever is between them. So they get the saucer and the rest of the ship. I don't know if that has a name. Between drive section between the Breen dreadnought and the scout ship, and then warp them to the galactic barrier. Whoa.
Meanwhile, Keith is here breaking his models.
Yeah, and then I think after that, yeah, they Burnham gets out of there kind of scot free, and
she sees this like
the eclipse. Oh yeah, she kind of sees everything that led up to, I guess now, and now she kind of uses that information to be like, we don't really need to mess with our organic state. I don't know, and decides to throw the portal into the black hole so that no one could ever get it again. Maybe.
Jump ahead.
Fast forward, Saru and
Tarina.
Tarina, yeah. Tarina get married. Everyone's there except for the Klingons.
Klingons not invited.
Everyone's having a good old time. And then Book and Burnham, I think this is where they finally like make amends and decide to have a life together, which is great because I like them together. And then fast forward, they got a whole kid who's like 30, and he's a captain. That's cool. And then later on, we see Burnham go back into the Discovery for one last mission. What's his name? About something named Craft. Gotta find. Yeah,
we did rewatch Calypso.
Yeah, Calypso is really good.
Yeah.
Bring Craft as a whole person and not a vessel or whatever the fuck.
Bring back Aldous Hodge.
He was great. He was great.
Yeah, he was awesome. That was good.
Yeah,
Was it?
Maxwell? Yeah.
I think I just rambled.
I mean, welcome to the club, my dude. Welcome to the club. That is what we do for an hour.
That's pretty much what we do.
I feel like I'm ready.
Over a year now.
All right.
All right.
This is our standard MO. All right. So let's talk about the things we liked first.
Oh God.
This is not a trick question, guys.
pretty
I'm
much.
assuming there were good things.
So are we talking about like cool things that we see?
I want to talk about, you know what I want to talk about
Oh,
is, which we don't talk about much, is the art, right? So
It was a pretty episode.
you have that one
It was a very
shot.
pretty episode.
You have that one shot of her inside the portal. That one tech.
I will say
So,
it's really nice.
That's a really good one.
It looks like
I
a
was
bunch of
trying to
iPhone
figure out. I was trying to figure out as a director, how am I explaining to someone what I want to see?
Well, I don't think that's the director's job to explain that part. That's the art. That's the artistic director.
No, but the artistic director is to follow the vision of the director.
Right.
It's the overall artistic vision side from maybe the producer, but the artistic director has to figure out the vision of the director and what they want. They don't just go having other people make up shit.
Unless, of course, they happen to have a whole bunch of extra LED tube lights in a closet somewhere.
And a lot of iPhones that they're not using anymore.
Right?
Yeah, I feel like
Right.
AV directors don't have as much say. Like film director, definitely, but television director, not so much.
Right.
You're kind of more.
I feel like it was a collaborative effort.
Yeah, you know.
Right, because
That's pretty.
TV directors, I think the producers are doing more of the overall.
Yeah.
Than the directors are actually. So that's,
But you're right. I did like the design a lot, and I liked the design of a labyrinth as well.
That was
The
cool.
feeling-
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
the
a
feeling you were in a
Canadian
maze.
library, so I learned.
So wasn't it a surprise that like
Canadian library.
Oh, cool.
the progenitors weren't the like original people of people?
I'm
Yeah.
still pissed about that.
I
I'm
mean-
still pissed about that.
Right.
I like that Maxwell is putting his finger on like a major fandom problem
Yeah.
with
Oh,
this
yeah.
episode.
Well, it's the old idea that every scientific discovery just leads to more questions, right? You never solidified with. There's never an end to that answer that you're looking for. You just now you have more questions. It's just a lineage of more questions.
Yeah, I
And I
still
also
want to
think-
be God.
And I also think that wasn't the point, because that was never ever finding the technology was never ever going to be the point of this season.
No, right? We knew there's going to be meaning. There's some type of meaning behind it.
Right.
Otherwise, what's the point? Or otherwise, what is the point? We found it. Got it. Just gonna put it over here in the sand.
We all have our reservations about that.
So what about her destroying her decision to get rid of it?
That's the one thing I did not want to happen. Like I
Agreed.
said it.
But there was,
No, I called this.
yeah, Marie's been calling this for
I think
weeks.
Marie called it.
Every
Yeah.
single national treasure movie. Oh, this is too powerful. We should throw it away. We should destroy it every single time. Like, come
National
on.
Well-
treasure, right?
Well, in a sense, it makes sense because they are, first of all, at least some of them are Earthlings, so they've been like through nuclear age and shit like that, and they've noticed that every time we have something powerful, there's somebody that's going to use it to destroy everybody or try to.
Well, the fact that they had to fight the Breen for it, and you just know, I mean, the Breen is not the worst you can get here.
Right.
And the fact that the technology, as explained, only has like one really good use, and that is to seed life or to build a cookie cutter army.
Right.
Right. Nobody needs that. I mean, war needs to mean something. We've already, in fact, had that.
We saw the prequels. Yeah.
Right. We've talked about this before in the original series, guys, that war has to mean something. Or it just goes on
Does it?
forever.
Does war have to mean something?
Yeah.
Not always.
I mean, I think the losses have to mean something. Because I think because if you don't, then what's your impetus to stop?
Okay. You have to think it means something.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You have to
I'm
think
not saying that war itself has some overarching
think
meaning. No. But
Wars are mostly, I think, fought on just some silly idea. It's not even. I think most wars aren't even fought over money or resources, even though that is a major thing for conflict. But that's all shareable stuff.
You've
And
had some wars fought for some pretty stupid reasons.
it's just stupid ideas that people get in their head and say, "Oh, we're gonna go with that idea."
and the Australians even lost to emus.
They lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is a real thing. Look it up. The Great Emu
Really?
War.
I thought it was frogs.
I'm sure there's some of that in
Oh, there's lots of frogs too.
Yeah.
I thought it was Dory.
That too.
But anyway.
So,
Yeah, I don't think finding the technology was ever the point. And I think that's actually one of the reasons that we get the conversation that we do between Burnham and the progenitor, right? Which is you've got to find meaning. And then she points to all the different way, or I assume the progenitor's pronouns are female. I don't actually know.
We're
just gonna use that for
we look and we think we see female, so that's what
I'm just gonna use them anyway.
Yeah.
So, but that's the point, right? She shows Burnham all these different like situations. Like we've watched Culber wrestle with his need to accept the unknowable and to accept faith. We've watched Book find his meaning in rebuilding his relationship with Burnham. We've watched, everybody finds there's some sort of meaning arc, unless of course you're a Woshkun and Detmer, in which case you got like
or the
replacements to go do things.
Or the replacements who didn't have any meaning whatsoever.
Back to Space Dock. That's it.
Right. Still bummed about that. It was really sad.
I'm bummed about that ever since like when Pike first came on and we're like, we got him, girls, right? We got him. Like, yeah, we got him. Like, it was like that's a team. That's our team at the helm and at the ops.
Yep.
But that's the point of the Grail quest, right? The point of the Grail quest is never that you get the Grail, and it's certainly never that you keep the Grail, because that is the divine, and that is something that we as mortals don't get to touch. And like I know I keep coming back to this, but I really see this last season as being that kind of Grail quest. So we had everybody grow. We had everybody, like have these spiritual epiphanies over the course of this season, and that's really the point of a Grail quest is the spiritual formation that you go through by the end of it.
Yeah. Well, just the fact that I brought up a couple of weeks ago how they set it up that the Book could take it on himself to want to get the tech to try to bring back Quajon. But no, he's accepted that Quajon is gone and it's not coming back.
Except he plants the world route and then moves his wife there. That is Sanctuary. There's no question in my mind.
Where were they at?
Sanctuary.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the planet he took her in the very first episode that they met.
Okay.
Remember the spitty worm?
Yes, the one that ate her. The one that's what
he
Molly.
Molly, the transworm.
It did look like a barren planet at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very much not, because we actually hear that's where he's planted the remains of the world root, and it has clearly taken seed over.
Yeah,
however many.
That's what it looked like when we saw it before, the red leaves and trees. That hasn't changed much.
Did anyone else get the Planet Hell reference they showed?
Well, I saw it.
Oh, the planet that was on fire?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice TNG reference, like a nod. Like, because how many sets they kept changing and they called it Planet Hell.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were doing with that sequence at first. I didn't realize she was going
fighting.
No. when Burnham was getting the vision, I didn't realize that what she was seeing was the evolution of time.
You didn't know that's what she was seeing?
Not at the time, no, not until she mentioned it. I just saw a bunch of shit, and I was like, "What is this referencing?"
Complete and total understanding. Up until that point,
right?
Because she can't. I mean, see the future kind of ruin shit. But yeah.
You watch that video of the plants budding and growing out of soil that I know I've seen dozens of times, and
I've definitely
it was very. I gotta tell you, it was very 2001, right?
Yeah.
Like it was very Kubrick and how they did that, which I suppose makes a certain amount of sense because Kubrick was dealing with similar revelations on a grand scale, right? That's the point of the monoliths.
Yeah. I was really hoping that it was going to be Salome Jens as the progenitor, but
I know
she's retired from acting. She hasn't done anything in over 8 years, so
that would have been nice.
That would have been very nice.
Mm-hmm.
the OG progenitor from the.
I definitely forgot to mention that the doctor is Daniels. I forgot about that.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Max. I'm gonna let Max go. He caught something that before I could even say it, and fucking brilliant. Like,
all right, so get this right. I don't remember what episode of Enterprise it's in, but it's when Daniel shows Archer that, hey, you're the only one that can stop this the Zendi war. Well, you're the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So Daniel's always on my mind, right? Throughout me watching, I think like over like a course of maybe like 2 weeks, I'm seeing this timeline and back and forth watching through Enterprise. I'm just wondering, where's Daniels in both of these shows, man? I love Daniels. Daniels is my guy. And it occurred to me that we're here in like the 21st, 32nd century.
32nd for Discovery.
And we haven't seen Daniels. So I'm like, it could only be one person.
Oh, you said that earlier?
He called it.
Nice.
Name.
There was some speculation that he was Daniels on Reddit as well.
Big Danny, bro.
I was really. I haven't decided how I feel about it.
What's going on, Marie? Talk to us. What's going on?
I love it.
He did die once.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He died.
But this is Star Trek, man. Death is a suggestion. You get over it.
Especially if you're a temporal agent. Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
It's like all my children. They'll be
that timeline, yeah.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. I was dead, but I feel better now.
I got better. Yeah.
Thank you, Shax.
Yeah, from Lower Decks. He died, and we don't even know how.
Went to the mountain.
Yep.
And how many times did O'Brien die? Like,
oh.
Well, he died one episode.
Happy birthday, Cole Meany. It's his birthday today. But
yeah.
Oh, hey. Happy birthday, Kyle.
O'Brien.
So I got a question about, you guys were mentioning how you were thinking Book might try to recreate his planet. So I feel like I didn't get an actual understanding of what this technology was or capable of. Like, can it build planets? Can it build?
No, I think it's
matter,
organic matter.
So it's just Genesis, right? This is what we're talking about.
I think it's solely focused on like organic matter, is what it sounds like, but not bringing back like your
planets are also
like that.
Right? No
organic
souls.
matter.
No souls, right?
But I didn't hear any reference to physical matter, so I don't know how it would bring back a planet.
Well, she talked about genetics and that she could make a genetic clone of Locke, but it wouldn't be Locke.
I would think they could do that in that century anyway.
And that was the point.
Yeah,
that was the point. Is that yes, we could in fact clone Locke, but it's not. But he wouldn't be Locke.
No, but
what made him Locke is gone.
I would think they could do that without that technology. I would think they would have that technology to do that anyway.
Well, Burnham knew that. That's why she told him like, hey, he's gone, like, because we can clone anyway, like.
Right.
I mean,
we've seen that.
We've seen episodes in which they have grown.
We've seen.
Well, Deep Space Nine is a bunch of clones. Like, obviously, cloning technology.
And Enterprise.
Enterprise
uses Phlox uses a slug to make Tucker. Like,
Maxwell's not gotten there yet.
That's a 5 day.
Okay.
That was a 5 day Tucker.
Yes.
5 day Tucker.
That was weird. That was a weird episode.
Yeah, it was. That was Sim was a very
That
awkward.
was on the verge. That's like Tuvix and Sim kind of.
Neither one of them is great. Like neither one of them is
Voyager yet.
Yeah, I've not seen Voyager.
So what happened to Genesis?
What?
I mean, it was unstable, and
Bill Collins went on its own.
Okay.
By the 32nd century, the Genesis device is the size of a pill.
Yeah, we saw Genesis 1 created the planet. Genesis 2 blew up in Nick Locarno's face.
And
Genesis 3 is sitting in Section 31 storage.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what the technology did is it actually seeded progenitor genetic code and kickstarted evolution, because the whole point of the progenitors was that they were lonely, right? That what they were looking for is they were looking for diversity, and that's what they got, and that's ultimately why Burnham was actually able to say, okay, we don't actually need this because
Right,
we
because
have diversity.
we already have it. So the whole
Right.
purpose of that technology didn't exist anymore.
Right.
It's like all the people who live on Dune coming to Earth and saying, "Why are we still wearing these fucking suits?" Basically, because there's water everywhere.
So
whatever.
So, but I do like the idea that Jason had, where like the fact that the progenitors didn't invent the device is representative of the fact that we're never going to get an answer to that question. There's always going to be another greater power. Like we're always going to be like, that untrammeled horizon that Tennyson talks about in Ulysses.
There are only two people that come to my mind right away that have the answers to everything.
Susan Lucci.
One is Cisco, and the other one is Badgie.
No, Badgie doesn't have the answers.
Badgie is,
but neither does Cisco either, right? Like Bajoran, but his status is Bajoran Jesus notwithstanding.
Is Badgie canon?
Badgie is canon.
Badgie is limited to Badgie is limited to programming.
Badgie literally, what's it called when you elevate? What's it called?
Ascend.
Ascend.
Yeah, he ascended and became one with the koala. So, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that
he was an AI though. So,
I mean,
well, you can have a.
And then the other dude who faked it up until, I think they got the answers. Yeah, because they were about
the koala has the answers.
Or have they accepted that there are no answers to get?
Okay, I'm willing to accept that.
There's always answers to get.
Is the koala god?
The koala is the koala.
The koala is the koala. Like I think,
is God the koala's like owner
I
or
think
something?
Star Trek knocks on the idea of God, but then they kind of like, out of respect for everyone, like because they kind of did and I'm Marie, please don't throw a shoe at me, but they kind of knocked on the Final Frontier's door a little bit when they said, "Hey, let's move them to the galactic barrier." Like,
oh yeah, what's past the galactic barrier? That's what I want to know.
It ain't God.
No, that
might be.
No, it's outside of the galaxy, but that's just a Star Trek thing. I think I don't know if that's a real. It's not a real thing. It's something they made up in the original Star Trek series, and they just
very original
jumped on it.
That was one of Roddenberry's like legit Bible, like part of the series Bible was that mankind had moved past the need for religion, because Roddenberry's argument was that organized religion was the root of a whole lot of societal ills, and also in preventing him from having the sexual escapades that he wanted.
Yes, but also DS9 taught us that there are more things in heaven and earth that are dreamt of in your philosophies, right? So they taught us.
Well, original series had already covered that as well.
Yeah,
but there's still more things than you could understand. If something could be God,
right? But I mean, Star Trek very much flirts with this, right? Like the idea that sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Mm-hmm.
Which they touched on. What was the Picard episode with the
Discovery?
Yeah. It was like the primitive Vulcans, like the cousins of the cousins, like
who watches the Watchers?
Who watches the Watchers? Yes, yes. It explained it.
Vulcans, yes.
Yeah, I mean
the proto Vulcans, if you will.
Yeah, I'm still entertaining the idea of the koala though. I can get behind the aliens and wormhole in Deep Space Nine as prophet. I can get behind that as them being aliens, but you cannot dispute the koala.
The koala, you can't disrespect that.
I have to admit, I'm kind of disappointed that there wasn't like a brief frame of a koala in any of this.
It would have been
great.
Yeah,
like Burnham just passed by a koala on one of the planets. Like,
what?
Right?
Is that a koala?
Like what?
I didn't even have to have a koala because I think I saw a koala.
Right? Just any of that would have been great.
You see a koala and you just be like this. I get
honestly,
I get you, bro.
It entertains the idea of, but I will say this. Let's bring it back down to science now. It entertains the dude said the whole universe is balanced on the back of a giant koala, right? Well, that means that like even in our galaxy, in our universes, there's more universes and more universes.
It's more koalas.
Terry Pratchett would say it's a turtle.
I was kind of hoping.
Well done. Well done. By the way.
I was kind of hoping instead of a alien deer that we would see like a koala. Like that would have been nice.
Well, you know what the problem is? And it's always been the problem is that there is no definition of God, and nobody has one, and there's nothing definitive to say what a God is or what a God isn't. And so, if you live in a universe of infinite diversity, you can't distinguish between what a God is and what isn't. Everything's just doing things that
I mean,
you
I
can't do.
was kind of like getting behind like the idea of like the Q continuum being the closest thing.
Pretty much,
God
right?
light, yeah.
Yeah, God like or angels, if you would.
They feel very much closer to like the Greek pantheon, right? Like, excuse me. They feel very much closer to that because they have these great powers, but they're not particularly enlightened or developed as people.
I feel like being a god, you would have to be able to create time and space, matter and energy, right? You have to be able to at least do those things to be considered an actual god.
So if you have suitable technology, you can do that. I mean,
Yeah,
right now,
there you go.
Impossible for us. But
I was really waiting for humanity to surpass the Q continuum. That's what that was really because Q said it to Riker. I brought this up a few weeks ago. Q said it to Riker in like what season 1 or 2 that hey, you're about to surpass us in a few millennia. So what's up?
that would have been a nice ending, I think, for that to happen.
They're not. The story's not over yet, but
true.
How is the story
they're
not
getting
over?
there because Q with a snap of his fingers could transport himself while they're, quick tapping their personal transporter. So technologically, they're getting there.
How is the story not over?
Starfleet Academy picks up in the 32nd.
Oh right.
Oh right. Okay.
The new series will pick up where this one left off.
Did anybody else think that Burnham was actually going to stay there?
I did. I for sure thought she was.
I thought the doctor was going to go there.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Because I felt like
because the story's not about him.
No, it's not about him, but it's kind of like they kind of teased him all the way up into the shuttle, and I'm thinking, hey, you're really pretty set on exploring your faith. So, do you want to be a space monk and take over? Like,
you say space monkey?
I didn't think they would do that with Culber because I think they didn't want to make the same mistake that they made with Cisco.
Yeah,
turning him into a demigod and separating his family.
Well, not even that, but taking an example of positive Black fatherhood and like having him abandon his family. Yeah, the optics still aren't great. Some years later.
I was just telling Max like earlier in the show, I really appreciate, even though Book is an alien, I really appreciate seeing like a Black family, mother, father, son, and in Star Trek and actually stay together. Like no one dies, no one abandons them, nothing like that crazy happens. Like it was really nice to see, and the cinematics were beautiful. I'm not gonna lie.
But I wanted him to be more like a gardener or something.
A gardener?
Yeah, that's one thing I like about DS9. Jake did not become a Starfleet officer. It's like everybody's son always follows.
Yeah.
It's giving Boothby.
You guys catch his name?
Leto.
So answer me this: who is Leto? Who did they name him after?
I hope it's no one.
I don't know any.
I'm thinking it's the Dune reference.
Yeah. Does anybody remember? No, hold on. Does anybody remember Book's godson's name?
I don't.
No.
The child that he kept going after.
Yeah.
And he kept saying.
Are you asking because you do?
Was
Or
it?
are you
I
asking
think it was Leto.
Hold on, let me figure it out.
Wait a minute. I got it. Leto was a male Quajon that lived on the planet Quajon in the 32nd century.
There you go.
He was Kahim's son and
that's
Cleveland Booker's nephew. It was his nephew.
That's what Marie just said.
Yeah.
So no, that's exactly where that name came from. But perhaps originally the name was a Dune reference because I kept thinking that and also wondering when he was going to die.
Did anybody else get Orville vibes from the ship he was on?
I try so hard not to have Orville vibes at any point.
They didn't.
The shuttle, yeah, because it's so minimalist.
It's minimal, and then in the back, it's got like this back curvy fin. Anyway, that was just.
You mean Saru shuttle? Or the one that Leto was
One in
piloting?
The one that Leto was on. Actually, there was a bunch of them at the end of the
feel like
show.
they're
I
identical.
thought they were mines at first when they left the
Yeah.
Federation. I was like, oh, they got mines. They're protecting that shit.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, oh,
I initially was very confused about that too. I was like, that looks like, do we have just a whole bunch of dots? And then we pulled out, and then you could see that it was a full honor guard for the
Right.
ship.
Speaking of ships, what ship did Leto take over as captain?
They didn't say. They said he was on his way to another
The
system.
Enterprise Z.
The
But did-
Enterprise N.
right.
The Enterprise Z.
Did you notice that when the Discovery left, it had its nacelles connected?
Yep. And
Yeah, they undid the retrofit.
Because they had to
They
for
undid the
some.
retrofit.
I mean, because they had to do it for Calypso, right?
Yeah, they took the A off and they restored the exterior to how it looked.
Yeah,
Right, because if you're gonna leave it out there for a while, you're just gonna sit there and waste energy, right?
So
That
apparently,
makes sense.
Kraft is someone that's important in history that he had to live and get patched back up, and then that.
Did she say craft?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kraft.
She
Mhm.
did say that. Okay.
Yeah, apparently, time travel is still actually used because that's supposed to be 1,000 years in the future, and they somehow
They pulled a
But
whole.
why-
If you think about it, it's a Back to the Future thing because you remember when they left the car in the cave for them to find like 80 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay. So why? I guess I'm confused on why they had to do that and why it's important.
It's a red. Well, one, it's closing the plot hole from Calypso.
I get that, but why is it
And then
important?
two, this is Kovich's baby because it's a red directive.
Okay.
It's probably safe to assume that Kovich, aka Daniels, created the Red Directive program to fix time traveling plot holes.
I trust Danny.
He's probably the only
He's not
one.
gonna call him Kovich ever. He's never gonna call him Kovich ever.
No, he's gonna be Daniels.
Yeah,
like-
Danny knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I was confused about that because when Burnham went forward in time, she didn't meet Kraft, right?
I mean, no.
No.
She only went forward 30 years.
Right.
Right.
Well, it was season 2 that Calypso released, and we thought that it was the 1,000 years different was the reference to the season 3 that we were going to see, but it wasn't. Now it's the year 4000, right?
But why do they have? I don't get why they have to send the ship out there. Right? I don't know. Whatever.
Because there's something about Kraft that we don't know about that's important.
Then we're never
Maybe
gonna
he knows
know.
who creates mac and cheese.
One of those questions that you got to answer.
Sometimes
I think Kraft. I think that whole thing is representing a continuation of the Federation. Because remember, Kraft is coming from a broken society, much like we got with the galaxy after the burn. And so what Kraft gets is kind of it's not quite as bad, but it's almost like a crash course in, hey, we can do better.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think there's something really important about that idea of, the continuity of making sure that these ideas of the Federation keep continuing.
You don't think that Zora is going to get lonely?
She clearly does.
Yeah,
Have you not watched Calypso?
Right.
Right.
she
I
said
don't see why she's not. Wait, what? No, I don't want that. I don't.
But it
wanna
also
do
kind of
that.
bothers me because apparently she forgot that she was supposed to be waiting specifically for Kraft and that it would have been fine if she'd gone with him.
I was gonna say, do you not? I mean, like, yes, of course, like the writers had to think of something to close the loop and the plot holes and stuff. But you would think that, like a computer, an AI would remember Burnham saying something about Kraft. Like,
I don't feel like they had to close the loop. I mean, I feel like they could have and they did, but I don't feel like if they just left that open, that would just be a open
Jason,
thing.
I love you, but I'm not gonna.
And that's a real question. I mean, do we think that was necessary?
I feel like it was very necessary.
I feel her saying Kraft was not necessary. Everything else about it, I thought.
You feel like if they didn't send Discovery off to go wait, that you would be running your head like, oh well, how does it end up out there forever?
Well,
Yeah.
they can't destroy it. They are, because of sphere data, they can't destroy it. And you're not going to exactly mothball it because then someone else would try to access that. So, yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't mention like duplicating the spore drive.
Well, they tried, but Book kind of messed that up for them. So
What?
No. The problem is what it takes to operate the spore drive. You
Ooh.
need someone who can pilot it, and that was Stamets and Book, and of course others from Quajon. But guess what?
Not so many
gone.
Quajani left.
Yeah, I get that, but when you are, I mean, you work on something for decades to get it working. Like people work on things
like Stamets did.
By this point, they have the Discovery B. By this point, probably C. So, like, I
mean, the whole point is that we're actually told this in the first episode of the season, because apparently what ends up happening is the Pathfinder drive wins out over the Spore drive for assorted technical reasons, and Stamets is pissed because he's like, I could have fixed all these issues, blah 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 blah. Remember in that bar?
Well, yeah. What's the Pathfinder drive do?
That is the new special warp drive that enabled Saru to get out in front of Tahal's dreadnought.
So they can go past warp 10 without turning into lizards now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Thank you for bringing me that back.
Or you time travel into TOS, and then you can warp past warp 10.
We don't talk about TOS. We just know that they had Scotty. They had Scotty. That's all we need to know. They had Scotty.
Yeah.
They somehow made it to the Great Barrier with Scotty. That's all that matters.
So you time travel and go at warp 20, and then time travel back once you get there. That's how you do it.
They had Scotty.
And Spock.
That's all you need to know. And Spock. You put them together, you can do anything.
No, the first time they did it, somebody else did it on this ship. Somebody else was controlling the Enterprise on TOS.
It was
yes.
It was escaping a black hole, and they went back there and threw them into space time.
What else did we dislike about this episode?
I thought it was weird. This is just a minor thing. I thought it was weird how the portal was just sitting there by the black hole. It wasn't spinning around it. It was just sort of stationary.
I mean, it wasn't on the event horizon.
It was in Lagrange point again.
Yeah.
It went right back to Lagrange point.
No, if you look at the picture, I don't know. They look like Lagrange point to me. Those
From that angle, no, but
it's not there to where the gravity could pull it just yet.
From a black hole.
I mean, well, you got to be close enough for the black hole to pull you. I mean, otherwise, you can just sit there.
If you're not moving, if this Earth wasn't moving, it would be pulling right towards the sun right now, 93 million miles away.
It is pulling towards the sun.
Right. Yeah. But I'm saying if we weren't moving at like, I don't even know how fast we're going. It's like, what, 10,000 miles an hour around the sun? That's a guess.
I mean,
we would be moving straight towards it.
I mean, it's gravity.
I'm not a physicist.
It's gravity. That's how gravity works. You can look at it. You can look at it.
Who loved the doctor saying, "I'm a doctor, not a physicist"?
Right.
Right.
He said,
that was great. That was fantastic.
But Bones never said but. Bones never said, I'm a doctor, not a therapist. But I'm a doctor, not an engineer. But
well, that's because that's Dr. McCoy, who's just going to be the fine country doctor and not anything else.
You know what it was too? is Bones was always angry that you would even ask him that.
Of course.
He would be like, I'm a doctor, not a claymaker. Like he would just be pissed off that you even asked him to make me a cup, Bones.
He's come to do two things: be a doctor and make mint juleps, and that's all he's gonna do.
But Colbert was kind of like, well, I am a doctor, not a physicist, but he's just nice about it,
Because Colbert's a much nicer guy.
Yes, he does. Why? Well, would you not? I would.
I'm just saying the whole physics that they have behind these black holes, I think is a bit off.
I have no idea.
I agree. I think it is a bit off. Black holes are a lot stronger than that.
I think there was another science fiction plot hole that you.
Oh yeah, how?
Go ahead.
How do you expect to pull in a portal with a tractor beam? Like, I don't know.
That was my thing too. I thought, well, maybe the portal is something that the gravity couldn't pull at from the black hole, really. But because before it was in a canister, right? But then I said, okay, they're using a tractor beam, so I guess it has to have mass if they're using a tractor beam.
I mean, but like a portal, like any portal, is just a rip in space and time between 2 points, and I don't see how you can pull in anything like that.
It's like trying to move a wormhole.
Well, I mean, the portal
Yeah.
itself had some sort of mechanism to it. It wasn't just a hole in space. It had
Right.
the thing that was
Right.
creating the portal, and that's what the tractor beam was grabbing on.
And that's what was ultimately inside the mystic barrel of doom.
But also portal. I mean, tractor beams are also containment fields, right? So it's not, maybe you're not pulling on the actual mass of the object, but you're creating a containment field around that area of space. So then you're just moving that area of space towards you.
My vote was the canister went to pieces, started surrounding the portal, and they actually locked onto the pieces, and then they started holding on to it. Because that was my William theory.
That's part of it.
I still don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Magic.
Well, first of all, you have to get that it's actually not real science. It's just kind of
right
theoretical, figuring out how to have fun with science.
But we can make it real science.
If
we try.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's things in their science that's way beyond anything.
You let
in our
me know.
imagination.
If you get in the lab and stop watching Star Trek all day, maybe you could figure it out.
Put me on the
I
Enterprise.
couldn't hear you. I
-1.
couldn't hear you, Keith. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying that, I mean, for anything at that far, there's stuff in their science that's beyond our imagination.
Yes.
Kind of like what Kovic Daniels said. Whatever we think we
Case
know.
in point.
Because he's him. Of course.
U.S. didn't have computer screens. They just had jewels and buttons and switches.
But they had computer screens. They were just,
Tiny.
CRT.
Yeah, they were very much CRT.
When did they have they had a TV? They had a TV screen. They never had like a computer that I don't know.
Yeah. In the briefing room, all along the wall of the bridge, they had the little ones.
They had one. They certainly had one in sick bay.
Yeah,
they had them.
They had that little readout with the dial. The boom, boom.
Yeah.
They even had a printer on the bridge.
Did they have a printer on the bridge?
Yep.
Pilot episode they showed.
It was very much dot matrix, but
Oh man, I used to listen to my dad printing shit at night when I was a kid. Yes, I hate it.
So they in fact had to tear off the
I would play with those. If you take two of them and you cross them together, you can make these slinkies with them.
And Maxwell and Will are like, what?
I'm so clear.
So like my dad would print it at night, and it was
your face, Maxwell, is making me feel ancient. So stop. Stop.
It's like
yeah, well, it's real easy to make banners because the paper was already connected.
Yeah.
Man, I love Bluetooth.
And we don't even know the name of the man who got rid of that shit. Or
after you're done, Jason, I have a question.
IBM probably.
Packard.
All right, what's your question, William? We're not going. Stop. Go.
So Keith, any what were those things called? Treasure things. When you
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. Any Easter eggs? Because
several Easter eggs we had. I was thinking about the ones that we saw behind Kovic/Daniels at the end, where that's definitely Geordie's old visor, and that's Cisco's baseball, and
the wine
bottle of Chateau Picard.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
You had like references to things that we've seen. I mean, obviously, some of the planets that we saw the seed planets within the Predators text, it's similar to some planets we've seen in previous series of Star Trek going back. It definitely did have a vibe as a finale for all of Star Trek, even though we do have much more Star Trek to come.
Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
What do you mean? So what do you see as a vibe for all of Star Trek?
Well, like I was saying, with Kovic having all these things behind him that are referencing other Star Trek shows.
Right.
So.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't go that far. I mean, because I was looking, I didn't actually see anything specific to Enterprise, for example.
Daniels.
Daniels, I mean.
But saying
yeah,
Daniels,
I know. But like, the vibe I got from that was that we are very like with Picard, we are very much saying goodbye to, that time area. And we're looking and we're going, we're moving forward into the 32nd century.
Oh, they could have had Porthos like taxidermied.
Oh God, no. God Porthos, man.
Do not feed anything. Do not feed my nightmares, Jason. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm in therapy.
saying,
I
they
don't
got-
need any more
That's a one and
reasons to
only
freak my
space bar.
therapist out.
I'm not
Okay.
wearing my bonnet right now. I do not have time for your shenanigans, Jason.
Yes. That just if I was the producer, that would have been my idea. That's
I would
all.
have been so sad. Porthos got
And
attacked.
in
God.
fact, Keith has also already mentioned like one of the really good ones, which was that I'm a doctor, not a physicist, which is a pretty solid reference as well.
To TOS, yeah.
It felt good. The first ship since the Pathfinder for Discovery to separate at the saucer.
That was so
Oh yeah, the saucer section, saucer
Yep.
separation.
Yep.
I was like, what?
well.
I was like, what's happening?
They always intended to do that in original series, but they never had the budget for it, and they forgot about it when it came to the animated series. But then Next Generation, they did that, first 20 minutes.
Right? And that was very much Roddenberry having like a nerd moment. Like he's like, I wanted to do this and now I can.
I've been wanting to do this shit for 20 years. We're doing it in the first 20 minutes.
And I was like, when they did on Discovery, I was like, let me guess, they're never gonna do this again on the show. And obviously they're not.
Well, in the final episode, yeah.
So
Right.
It was like when they first did it, that was like a 5-minute scene. It's like,
Oh yeah, the episode they didn't have time to do the full separation, but yeah, they did pretty well.
So what was the name of the ship in Voyager? I forgot. Started
Voyager.
Yeah, the Voyager ship that separated into three.
Oh,
Equinox.
Oh
Not
wow.
Equinox, not the Pathfinder, not the Pegasus. It's something like that. Like
Equinox.
Oh no, that was the one with the doctor.
the one the doctor got on.
yeah.
And Andy
I don't
Dick.
remember.
Oh my god! It was on the tip of my tongue.
The Elysium.
No,
No, you just making up words. You just come on the show making up words.
Yeah, I'm just trying to jog his
Oh my god!
memory.
Because it's the third ship, other than the Enterprise D and now the Discovery. That's the only other ship I know that.
He's gonna look it up because it's gonna bother him now. He's not gonna be able to think.
I hate that it's on the tip of my tongue. It was an experimental deep space ship too.
Oh.
well, the Prometheus class ship.
Prometheus.
Yeah, it's a Prometheus. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
that was close.
Prometheus.
All right, we can move on now with life.
Jason, damn.
No, I'm serious because we were all thinking of it. We were all thinking it. We were all thinking.
We were all gonna wake up in the middle of the night going, Prometheus!
Right.
All right. I mean, how do we feel about like I like where Keith started us off, like as a vibe. Like, how do we feel like this is for an ending for Discovery? Because we are saying goodbye to Discovery, which I am still very sad about because I think the show really had started to find its feet.
Yeah, I felt kind of sad when everything was happening. I knew because I kind of I felt sad for the actors because like when I see stuff like that and I'm like I know they know what's happening. I kind of feel sad. We didn't see Tyler.
You can very clearly tell where the original episode ended, and then the coda that they added started.
Yeah.
I think this is my favorite. I'm naming it this way for lack of a better phrase. This is my favorite cancellation episode because it is way better than the end to Enterprise, and I'm not going to spoil it for Max.
Thank you.
Way better.
And it's better
Everyone
than the
dies.
original series.
It's much better than, and Marie can attest to that one.
Enterprise didn't have an end. That's why.
And it's better. It's better than the end to the animated series too.
They should. What they should have did with Enterprise is the same thing they did with Stargate. They should have had a straight to DVD 2-hour episode to end the show.
I mean, we have a lot of Star Trek movies already out and coming out. So, like, what do you mean?
I mean that like they
As opposed to giving us these are the voyages. Yeah,
a
movie to. Okay,
well, it was never the intention for that to be the finale, but the CW screwed up.
Yeah,
I think all in all, I'm happy with it.
I
think I'm all in all, I'm happy with it. I think it could have ended with her and Book on the beach.
But that's where it originally did.
Yeah, I think that's where it was, right? Like, let's see what the future holds. We're going to move on to season 6.
Yeah, that was the season finale right there.
Yeah. And the rest was like a half hour from there, 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
I'm asking a non-spoiler question, but for these other voyagers, how many years was the jump between where it originally ended for Enterprise and how many years it was for the ceremony. I'm just going to call it the ceremony.
It was 10 years.
So they kind of did the same thing here. Like,
No, it was more like
No, they did like
This was,
25,
this was a longer
25
in
years.
that, yes, that there was a time jump, but this is a much longer time jump.
yeah, 20 years. 20
They
years.
changed their hair.
No, it had to be more than 20 years. I thought it was 20. I think it's 30.
I have to admit, when she came out like that, I was like, "This is Jason's wig."
I said, they did.
Like I really did think that. I was
They-
like,
they
"This is
changed their
Jason's
hair.
wig."
got another hairstyle.
I'm surprised that Jason said nothing about the hair so far. Me personally,
I just did. I said they changed their hair. That's all I was gonna say.
yeah, it's a nice wig. And you know what? Shout out to them, to the makeup department, because it really looked nice. It looked nice.
Did she look to you a little bit like her mother?
Yes,
Season 2?
I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
And I like the gray patches on.
What did you think? All right, let's talk hair. Book's hair at the wedding.
Oh, with the tie in the back.
Big braids,
Yeah,
and I don't like them.
Yeah, that was a little. Yeah,
It just it looked rough. But Book still looked better than Tarina did, because I really want to know what they were thinking with that weird bustle thing that they had going on.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I liked Tarina's dress, but her dress looked like a muffin.
Kinda, yeah.
You want to take
Like
a
I really
bite?
I loved
You wanna take a
the
bite of that muffin,
detailing
Will?
that they did, but like the extra bits at the bottom were just kind of odd, and then that veil was very strange. Just didn't quite work for me.
Look at it!
What happened?
Nothing.
Okay.
Jason.
Fine. No muffins for Will. So, was she smiling?
Yes.
No, because I think Will was the only one that could see me.
Yes.
Yes.
I could see you. Oh, I could see you.
I don't want to know.
No, you really don't. I'll tell you after the show.
No, don't. I do not want to know.
He said, no, I didn't say I don't want to know in public. I said I don't want to know.
Period.
Yeah.
So yeah. But all right.
News?
But you know what? I'm
Yeah.
happy about. I think I like. So I kind of felt shorted on Saru for like the past 3 or 4 episodes. Just didn't like what his character was. It's kind of boring what he was doing. I thought this episode he really like turned back into the
Action
Saru
Saru.
that we know. First of all, overall, I think we should have got more actual action Saru after he found out he could shoot bones out of his face. Because I'd be doing that all day to everybody.
That's so sick.
This is my shocked face.
Right. But I enjoyed Saru a lot more in this episode than I have in like the past
That's so
4
cool.
episodes.
Yeah, he was great, and what nice to see Non back.
Mhm.
You know, kind of wrap up her story there, put her in there, and only her with Saru would have worked. There wasn't. It could have been Detmer.
It would have been nice if it was Detmer. Oh, but I would think whatever.
Yeah. But
I mean, we do actually get to see a little bit of Detmer and Owo, like in that
in the very
flashback.
finale.
We don't see Tyler.
Tyler?
No, Ash.
No, that was definitely not.
You don't know who Tyler is?
Oh, the friend did point out about
Tyler.
the shuttle that picked up Admiral Burnham is number
Oh, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler.
Wait, what'd you say?
I couldn't
Keith?
hear you, Keith. What?
The shuttle that picked up Admiral Burnham is number 47.
Of course it is.
So we got that reference back.
Number 47.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for your friend that doesn't know, 47 is the most popular number in Star Trek.
Yes.
Okay, can somebody
From
explain?
Berman Trek on, yes.
Yes.
Well, why?
It was an in joke with a lot of the people that were creating Trek in the 90s, and they just started working it into everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like the classroom number?
Something like that. It's
Right,
not.
It's a mathematical joke people say. I forget exactly what it is.
No, there's like A113, which was the classroom number, and that Pixar then put, and no, George Lucas puts in every THX.
Right.
Or no Pixar thing. Then 1138 was Lucas's thing that he puts in everything.
But starting with TNG, 47 is the most popular used number in Star Trek.
It somehow fit it in. Like it will be in a long string of numbers, but they'll make sure 47 is noticeable.
Yeah, it's something associated with Pomona College because it was Joe Minoski that started it.
All right. Yeah.
I forget what it was. I read about it before, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But that's also in part why my blog that this is attached to is Unimatrix 47.
No, that's...
So
how many Unimatrixes are there? God damn.
At least 47.
At least 47.
Infinite.
Which one is ours? We don't know.
All right, so let's wrap
Yeah.
up with some news. Hopefully, Keith has some good news for us, and as we
Well,
the ending of Discovery.
We do have the announcement that they did last week. I said that they had finished most of the predominant filming on season 4 of Strange New Worlds. It is now confirmed that it's done, and Anson Mount gave an interview and said that we are already beginning pre-production on season 5.
Nice.
But it will probably not officially get into high gear until early next year.
That's fair.
So,
have we seen season 3 yet?
It comes out this year.
We have seen season 3? Okay.
I mean, yeah. We saw 3.
Wait, hold on.
No.
No, you're right. You're right. No, season 3 is what they just finished. Season 4 is what we're about to get into.
Okay. Because when I saw there was only 2 seasons up there, so 3 has to be coming out this year, right? Yeah.
Yes. No. Season 3 will be out early next year, is what they're saying, because they, like I said, they just finished filming, and with the way they're doing post production, it's looking at January 2025.
I was promised 5 Star Trek shows a year, man.
That plan is dead now that Paramount is basically on, fumes. Because the idea of having Star Trek 24, a year-round Star Trek is dead. We still have no announcement of when Prodigy is coming out, even though it's definitely not going to be in June, because Netflix has been putting out all of their promotional stuff of when it will be available, and Prodigy wasn't on it. Alex Kurtzman gave an interview today in which he gave us a few more details about Starfleet Academy, solidifying the idea that it's going to be in the 32nd century, saying that the idea being that if we were to have set it in 90s Trek time or the time of Lower Decks or even Picard, it's kind of ho-hum Starfleet Academy then, where everything's just going like it's been. In the case of now, it's the reborn Starfleet Academy. So you're going to see the first graduating class of the new Starfleet Academy that was relaunched at the beginning of season 4 of Discovery. And it is official that Starfleet Academy, while in season 4 was part of Federation headquarters, in its series, it will be back in San Francisco on Earth, as well as having several episodes set in space at a space campus. So it won't be split between Earthbound missions and space missions.
Are there any actors or characters attached?
The only ones we know for certain is Holly Hunter as the lead, and we have the strong belief that Mary Wiseman will be in it as well, especially as they said in tonight's episode that she is the longest tenured professor in Starfleet Academy history. So if she's not in Starfleet Academy, then we're being robbed.
Right.
And of course, you have to wonder if some of the people that they introduced in the first episode that were her colleagues at the Academy might be part of the series as well. But ideas like that have been proven wrong before, where like the Native Americans that were in the final season of Next Generation, one of them was supposed to be Chakotay. That didn't work out. Let me check. Yep. Speaking of Journey's End, by the way, if you want to be part of the official Will Wheaton fan club, he's been selling T-shirts for the past week, but that ends tomorrow.
How nice.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I am.
What does his T-shirt say?
It says the official Will Wheaton fan club, and it has a silhouette of him giving the Vulcan salute.
I'm sure Sheldon would be very happy with that.
So they don't say "Shut up, Wesley" on the back.
Of course not, because he hates that and never wants to fucking ever hear it again.
I know.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's terrible. It's actually a terrible thing.
Yeah. Looking over, and I didn't see much else. There's a rumor that Armin Shimmerman shared on his Instagram that there is a album being performed by several former Star Trek actors, basically some of his fellow actors from Deep Space Nine, Casey Biggs, Jeffrey Combs, and who played the person who played his brother Rom,
Max
Grodenchik. And we know that Max can sing because he performed a song on the Deep Space Nine documentary, What We Leave Behind.
I'm a little disappointed that Jeffrey Combs didn't play a character in Star Trek. Right? I mean, in
Discovery?
Discovery?
Yeah.
Because I was about to say.
Star Trek, baby.
Jason, did you not notice he played every character? Those were all Jeffrey Combs.
Well done. Well played, Keith.
Yeah. That's
who is that? The creator of Forever,
that's Michael's
right?
word. Who?
Who is that?
Stop it, Jason. The creator of Forever. What do you mean?
The Watcher of Forever. I am
the Guardian of
Watcher
Forever.
Guardian of
of
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
That was created by DC Fontana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Was it? I thought it was Harlan Ellison for.
I saw him once.
I couldn't remember. Is it Harlan Ellison? It might be.
It was created for City on the Edge of Forever. So
It was,
Harlan
and I thought,
Ellison.
was that Harlan Ellison or was that DC Fontana?
That was Harlan Ellison, definitely.
Okay.
But the idea of the Guardian may have been DC, but he's the one who used it.
Okay.
And trying to see if there's anything else, and I'm not seeing anything else that's coming up. Obviously, there's going to be more than there's most likely going to be something breaking tomorrow, because that seems to be our luck lately.
So the writing of Sitting on the Edge of Forever started from an initial pitch by Harlan Ellison and ends up being with a final rewrite by Gene Roddenberry, Stephen Karabatsis, and DC Fontana.
And Harlan sued that they stole his story, and he did release the original script online, and it's not bad. And as I mentioned last week, Master Replicas continues its runoff of the last of the diecast models from Eagle Moss. They have until June 15th, and now it's basically buy 3, get 2 free. And I think there's a special on Voyager ships right now, is what they said.
Oh, I should get a couple.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want some of the little starships from old Eagle Moss, there's still a few days left. And then Master Replicas will be making announcements in mid-June of their new Star Trek things that they've signed deals with. It's just not going to have the ships anymore. I think that's what I could find on the news list. There's probably more out there.
They're all sold out.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But all right, folks, that is it for Life Itself. As always, like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you would like us to see in the gap between Star Trek, since we don't know when it's coming next.
Well, I could see us definitely doing a season 5 recap next week.
I think either season 5 or a complete Discovery recap. Or can we do that in an hour?
We could do that the week after.
Okay.
There we go. We can stretch this out.
There you go.
Yes.
Season 5 recap next week, and then the whole show the week after.
Right.
Yeah. And here's a surprise for everyone. She doesn't cry in every episode.
Oh, I wanted to say they stuck it in. They
got one more tear out of her.
They got one more cry out of Burnham.
Yeah.
In this episode.
All right, folks.
Tears of joy.
We'll see you next week. So, bean footage?
Yep.
That works too. That works too.
Remember to like, share, and comment below. Share us with your friends. Who knows? They might like us.
Is this about a boot? I don't get this.
This is eye candy, Jason.
It really is. You got to get one more in.
Hair.
Everything. See you guys. Wait, Jason, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you being right now? I got to know.
I'm serious, dude. You got
like 10 out of 10 serious, or picking on Michael serious? Which one?
There is no temperature in space. It's not cold.
What are you serious?
Okay, wait.
Who is? Oh dear God! It just got better.
You said his name.
Well, Welcome to the party, Michael.
No, that is not how we're going to end the episode
No.
because Keith
No.
actually has like a legitimate news update. He knows shit, and we should possibly like convey that knowledge.
That's my favorite line. He knows shit.
It's just like a black and red mound. It's like,
Why are you describing yourself?
what the hell?
Hello from
Hey, Virgil.
Hey,
Hey, Virgil.
welcome.
Hello, Virgil. Welcome. Who are you?
Who?